Hey, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Arizona. So I think when we think of mountain rescues, we think of the heat. We think of the summertime. But if you actually look at the data, Phoenix Fire reported the highest number of mountain rescues in the month of February at 23. So that's just an indication there are more people out on the trails here. Here at this trail, we're at 32nd Street in Lincoln, where we've already seen a number of people get their hikes going this morning. You can see the Take a Hike, Do It Right message. And again, this is a message they really want to get out there to all of us all year long, not just in the summer months. So joining us now to talk a little bit about safety is Sean with the Phoenix Fire Department. Good morning. Thanks for waking up with us. How's it going? What do you want people to know about safety and hiking this time of year?
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned it, right? February had the highest number of rescues, and so we just want to remind people, don't underestimate the weather, even in the mid-70s for out-of-town visitors. You know, that can be a lot, and hydration is still really important, so we really recommend people still stay hydrated, take plenty of water. Like we said earlier, if you're getting half of your supply of water, please turn around and go back. So we still say that message even when the weather's nice.
And in February, when you think about it, we had the Super Bowl in town. We had the Phoenix Open as well. So there were a ton of people in the valley enjoying that weather. Tell me about the training, because this is something Phoenix Fire is preparing for all year round. What goes into the training for these mountain rescues?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we have teams that train in technical rescue operations. Requires a real specialized skill set to navigate the challenges of these high-angle rescues that utilize complex road systems and obviously some helicopter operations. We have these teams strategically placed throughout the valley near our busiest hiking trails. We train alongside many other technical rescue teams throughout the valley. We utilize Phoenix Firebird from the Phoenix Police Department. They help us on these. So a lot of training goes in specifically to do mountain rescues and enact these rescues. So that specialized training really helps us. Okay,
great. Anything else you want people to know as we head into the cooler months of the year when you see more people out and about on the trails?
We continue to push the message to visit phoenix.gov, take a hike, do it right. Practice as many of those safety tips as you can. Get out, enjoy the trails, enjoy the weather, and stay safe.
Okay, Sean, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. So even over the weekend, we saw a couple different rescues off of Camelback. There was a hiker who was injured and then another hiker who felt sick that needed help off the mountain. So it's really something to think about all year round. Colton and Tess, you also know the weather's changing when you see all of us out in the field wearing these jackets. It's chilly. I think this is the first time I've had to wear this, but it's chilly by Phoenician standards and for a desert girl that grew up in Southern California. So that's your message.